Today we're talking about 3 pitfalls that sellers can fall into, costing them time, money, and peace of mind. And if you're looking to sell a home, this is critical for you to know so you can avoid it and get the price, terms, and timing that are acceptable to you. My name is Donna Iannacchino, and I am a local realtor here in the Bluffton Hilton Head area. I'm a pricing strategy analyst as well as a seller representative specialist. These 3 traps are related to one major factor.
Spit it out.
It is a proper pricing strategy. One of the most important things when you're selling your house. We really want to get right out of the gates. We want to avoid at all costs, number 1, the death spiral of a listing. This is when a listing goes up grossly overpriced, sits on the market for a long time, it misses that peak buyer activity within the first 3 weeks, and it ultimately ends up with price reductions and lowball offers. Pricing is an invitation. It doesn't mean that's what you're going to get. It just means we need to have it ballpark enough to entice people to come in, see your property, fall in love with it, and make an offer. If you're so grossly overpriced, it will result in limited or no showings at all. They're going to bypass it. The longer your home sits on the market, people start to speculate. They'll wonder why it's sitting so long. So they'll think that maybe something is inherently wrong with the house that is driving people away. Is there something structural that's going on in the area that people don't want to buy this home? Time is elapsing. They're going to think perhaps you're desperate now. Let's just throw out and see what sticks. Well, that's going to be a lowball offer. There's emotions attached. Now there's resentment, not wanting to work with this buyer.
They can go take it and shove it up there.
Another thing that may happen is if you start to do price reductions and you're just eking price reductions a little at a time because you're holding out for hope for that top dollar price that you have in your head or may have gotten from the Zestimate, people will see that and say, hey, they're coming down 1,000 at a time. I'm going to wait for them to keep reducing it. We'll wait until they get nice and low. And again, the longer it sits and the longer these price reductions happen, these buyers that may have been interested will move on to something else that is properly priced. Putting your best foot forward to get the most buyers looking at your home is the goal of any listing. At the end of the day, wouldn't you want to have your choice who is giving you not only the best price, but the timing and terms that you want for your home sale? Number 2, hiring an agent just based solely on price. In other words, having agents compete over price in order to list your home. It's natural to think in those terms because you think that if they quote you a higher price, they're going to get you that higher price. That's not the way it works because we don't set the prices. The market does. And we need to know how to read the market, trends, the stats, the insights, convey it to you in terms of what strategies will yield you what results and have you make a decision. Why this is such a major flaw is a seller agent not going to be the one buying your house. So we cannot promise you any price for your house. I'm not saying that agents are just going to quote you the highest price just to get the listing. They shouldn't be doing that. Rather, some of them may take it on being hopeful. Remember, hope is not a strategy. A strategy is a strategy.
Mic drop.
Don't you want an agent that's going to give you honest information, but you have everything you need to know to make an educated decision on your end? Talk about the data points that go into make up a good strategy. Yeah, number 2, hiring an agent just because they give you the highest price is definitely a pitfall and a flaw, and it should be avoided. Number 3 is relying on the good old Zestimate. What happens with these algorithms is they just drop a pin on the map, go in a certain radius and take what could be potential comparables. From that, they give you a pricing. This could be a grossly overpriced situation or underpriced. The flaw here is that can be so broad, they're missing insights. When we're talking about a certain home in a certain community, in a certain location, we call them micro markets. And Zillow is not going to pick up on information that's critical when you're talking about selling a home in a micro market. That's where effective pricing comes in when we actually look at all of those factors across the board. Yes, pitfall number 3 is just going by that Zestimate, which has been known to be grossly inaccurate. Fortunately, they have such a big presence online that people take it as an authority, but there are inherent and deep flaws with that. So let's avoid them at all costs. Let's take a look at that buyer life cycle. Now you'll see why each one of those pitfalls are important to avoid at all costs. This is a great illustration of the dangers of missing the list price up front. On the left-hand side, it shows all the buyers that have been looking in the market for a similar home to yours, and they've seen all others. So when yours is listed, it comes on as the hot new property, and everybody that were on the sidelines rushes out to see your house. And this is the best time to sell your house when the majority are looking, but you must price it right and have it in the right condition. If you do not have it priced right, at 3 weeks, all of the buyers who are waiting have now seen your home and have passed on it simply based on price. And now you have to wait for additional buyers to trickle into the market. And the longer it sits, that is when the lowball offers may occur or more price drops will be imminent in order to increase appeal. So we may as well start out right, start out strong, and capture as many of those buyers as we can up front. So how do we price it properly? There are different strategies to use that may yield you different results depending on what your goals are. But those strategies are also very dependent on not only your goals, but what kind of market we're in. When we're assessing the local market or the micro markets, we're not just looking at sold data, we're also looking at active and pending, seeing where the trends are going. We're watching the days on the markets, what price adjustments are occurring, and of course the market velocity, which will tell us how fast the inventory is going relative to the demand. And that will let us know if it's a seller's market, a buyer's market, or a neutral market. And that can also be different depending on the price point that you are in. As you can see, there's a lot of factors that go into proper pricing, and this is why for sale by owners tend to leave money on the table, because there are so many factors and you really need to know how to analyze it, interpret it, and most of all, how to strategize off of it. So proper pricing is not just about numbers, it's about strategy, it's about perception, and most importantly, it's about getting your results. Make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel because we will be talking about more seller tips. So if you are looking to move to Bluffton, chances are you're selling a home, it may come in handy for you. And if you are a seller in Bluffton, make sure you subscribe for more information. If there's anything I could do to help you, my contact information is noted below.